Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. An embarrassing thing just happened. I just did a whole rant about the thing I'm going to talk about, and then it turned out I wasn't even fucking recording, was I? But I am now, and I am going to talk about Muse, a song called Unraveling that a few of you guys have told me to have a look at. So I'll do just that. I will look at it, listen to it, and offer you some musings on Muse. Justin Hawkins rides again. Haven't done this for a while. That guitar's probably a long way out. I don't know which way. If the nut's too tight, it might be a bit sharp, but we'll find out later. I have spoken about Muse before. I've mused. I'm not going to do that again. I have spoken about Muse before at the beginning of this channel. And I think, there have been times over the years when, I suppose, I think I've probably alienated some Muse enthusiasts. Not in the course of doing my YouTube channel, but I think just in general, really. Because I may have pointed out something that's just downright bleeding obvious to me, really. He has two microphones live, or at the time when I made these remarks that were so controversial. There were two microphones on stage. One of them was just normal Matt Bellamy singing songs, and the other one was hotter. It was it had a bit of saturation in it, a bit of compression, and was cranked up, because I think the high part of Matt Bellamy's range is actually quite quiet. So you can do it and all that sort of wobbly stuff, and without needing to project. Everybody's different. It's just anatomy. I don't think I was saying it as even a criticism, but it was an observation that there are two channels. For those reasons, there are two very distinct. There's a huge gulf in the dynamics. Like the volume of his mid-range and the volume of his upper range. There's, he's the opposite of me. He's quieter the higher he gets. And people were like, "Oh no!" I think I didn't say it was cheating to do that. I never said that. And I don't believe it is. My low range is very quiet, and it needs to be boosted. But of course, I don't really sing in that area because it's not very loud. Anyway, they've released Unraveling. It's their first new music since the album Will of the People in 2022. Unraveling was produced by Grammy nominee Dan Lancaster. That's a good handle, isn't it? Who also plays keyboards and guitar in the Muse live music band. And one of the things that I'm always excited about with Muse is listening to what the drummer's up to, because he is an amazing drummer. Anyway, here are some comments from the video itself. The breakdown riff needs to be extended for the album. It's too good to be that short. Everyone's a critic and evidently an arranger. Brunex92 says, doubt it will. I agree with you. This song has so much potential. If it was a little bit longer, riffs and solo should be extended. Just fuck off. What's wrong with people? It's Muse, man. Let them do their thing, okay? All right, I am going to watch it and say some words about it. Again. That could have gone either way, couldn't it? My name is Matt Bellamy, and I like to rap. It could be, old school hip hop like that, but it's not going to be that, though, is it? I hope. Nice sort of John Carpenter-esque arpeggiated synthesizer part there, doing some bass. It reminds me of my theme tune to me doing sports. Speaking of scripts, I remember being in a pub with a friend of mine. Let's say a friend, and his eyesight wasn't the best. And he was sort of looking across the pub and said, "Oh, look at that amazing woman over there. She's really, really lovely. You can tell she's smart as well. She's sitting in the pub reading a script. I wonder if she's an actress or a playwright or something." And then as I looked over, it was just she was just eating chips out of some newspaper. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, Muse. Redacted and revised. I'll let this search and I will try to play alone. An insect trapped in amber, I'm a static hum, no longer happy dumb. Oh, this is the bit that does actually sound like old school Muse. Remember that doo-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo? Not doing a brilliant job of simulating an old Muse riff, but this does sound like that. What was it called again? Oh, what's the old stuff? Yeah, something about muscles or something. I can't remember now. As predicted, some brilliant drumming. Bit where he goes, M to the A to the double T, Bellamy, that's me, Matt Bellamy. I don't know. Headless bass. Really great vocal on that. That's kind of, I think that's the part of his range where he's really excellent. You know, it just sounds like great, operatic, powerful. It's projected. It's comfy for him, I think, that stuff. This is really badass when it gets going. I suppose you could sort of argue that this is similar in arrangement to some of the metalcore stuff that I've failed to understand over the years, but without this sort of, I don't know, it doesn't sound like Too Unlimited turning into something, you know, Too Unlimited that suddenly turns into Obituary. I think this is more like John Carpenter going into old school Muse, which I really enjoy. I mean, you can imagine a whole stadium full of people yelling that one, can't you? That's so heavy. I don't know how many strings are on Matt Bellamy's guitar. It looks like about 8 maybe. I don't know what that's detuned to. Something really, really low. It really sounds amazing. I love the guitar sounds on this. Loads of variety in it, and it's sort of, it goes from ridiculously heavy to sort of super crunchy, like almost 90s sounding. And here's a solo bit, which I've just paused at 2 minutes 58. Here we go. I like the way they've arranged this as well, because there's no sort of guitars to sort of muddy the waters when that lead stuff's happening. The bass is holding it all down, and it's got some really nice sort of counter runs that accent the different movements in the solo. It's really good. There's a little sort of yodel thing that happens in there, which is a Tom Yorkie, Bono-y thing. I enjoy those. It just adds a sort of emotional nuance to those woey woe bits that are just really fun to sing along to, I think. Here's my favourite bit so far. Yeah, that's good. I like that. It's old school Muse. He hasn't, but it's not though, because he hasn't done that stuff that he's sometimes used to do. You know, he's really just kept it in the anthemic kind of upper mid raw. And his guitars are so detuned. It is ridiculous, in a good way. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, nice one. Let me know in the comment section what you thought. Justin Hawkins rides again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these 2 videos, and why don't you pop over and join my Patreon? You never know, you might enjoy it. There's a vast archive of extra stuff that I've put there. But in addition to that, it's really just my plea to you, and I will do a black and white cap in hand version of this. But if you think that perhaps you might see me in the street and be inclined to buy me a cup of coffee, or perhaps, buy me a pint, then go over to Patreon, just subscribe to that instead. Or, buy me a pint. But it would have to be non-alcoholic beer. And I don't drink normal cow's milk either, so if you do get me a coffee, then make it a oat flat white, maybe, something like that. Although I am starting to wonder if I'm gluten intolerant, so gluten-free oat flat white. I'm not really fond of... Just join the Patreon, it's much simpler. And I'll see you cats on the ice. All right, nice one. Okay.